I believe there was an incident earlier this year that caused John F. Kennedy not to have homecoming.
That's correct.
What happened?
Well, we had a situation. Two students were fighting, and it just caused a bit of a school disruption. We, of course, got the school maintained, but just based on that particular incident and the behaviors of the students that day and a few days later, we just decided that we were not going to have homecoming. We can't have those type of incidents happening. We don't want students that are innocent and not participating in chaotic riots and things like that to come into the building to a dance that we're having in the evening and cause any type of disruption. So we felt as an administrative team that we were going to cancel the dance, and that's what we did.
The violence factor in this community, how is that affecting the schools?
This year has been the worst, in my 4 years here, in that we started the year out in November with the young man getting shot right in the King Kennedy projects. His death prompted his younger sister to kill herself. So she committed suicide. That was in January. In February, another young man, Cortez, I believe it was February or the beginning of March, he got killed at a party. The night of the show, Richard, young man, was shot in the leg, attending an older person in the community's wake, and couldn't even be outside, with the family without the violence. And it permeates every part of the building. Kids even are making decisions based on whether or not they can come to school based off what happened in the neighborhood. So if something goes on in the neighborhood over the weekend, we understand our attendance is going to be affected. The students won't come because they're scared of the violence in the neighborhood. So it's a real part of what we do every single day.
They don't understand because they don't live it. They don't live it because they so used to what, they grew up on. They don't leave out the house every day worrying about, who got a gun. Who's about to come out that cut. It all has a lot to do, educational wise and, and the government, because it's what y'all teach us. And then, these young minded parents, it's not making it no better. So you have a lot of, young cats like me making, really messed up decisions because of what we go through outside of home. Because you act a certain way when you're at home, but when you're out and, you observe everything else, it's a total different story. You see that person getting robbed, you see that person getting jumped, and then you see these people in the casket, and you just like, wow, man, our generation crazy, because now you got young cats like 13, 14 years old gang banging. You know what I'm saying? I thought you catch stuff like that in LA, but it's even deeper than that in LA. But now, we in Cleveland, and it's crazy, for real, because like, don't nobody want to wake up to that. Nobody want to wake up to their child in the casket. Don't nobody want to wake up, to yelling and all that stuff. Don't nobody want to wake up to all of that. Don't nobody want to wake up to none of that.
If the kids have something that they can do instead of, going out to try to rob somebody or going out to try to do something that's violent or wrong, if you're trying to get involved into the arts or try to be creative, then that's going to keep the kids out of trouble.
Family, friends, and neighbors are looking for answers after a 14-year-old girl was shot and killed early this morning. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tracy Carlos. The victim was one of several people shot after neighbors say an argument outside of a party on Cleveland's east side turned into a massive shooting. News Channel 5's Stephanie Ramirez joins us now from the newsroom. Stephanie, do we know how many people were injured?
Tracy, we do. Police say there are a total of 5 victims in this shooting. 2 are adults, a male and a female. They also say there are 3 juveniles. 2 teenagers were struck in the neck, but we're being told the 14-year-old did not survive.
She was her mom's only daughter, and she was taken away in such a tragic way.
This for the people that died before their time came. Where the heck was the paramedics at when them shots rain? Pop bang, people die left and right in my city. And to keep a hammer, that's why I barely fight in my city. Yeah, the A song I made is one here's the realest. And I'm tired of all the gang banging and all the killing. You can be with your best friend on your way to school. After that, you see his mama crying up on the news. Like, man, they took my baby and they took him away from mama. I'm tired of this stuff. I'm tired of all the drama. He should've just stayed home. He would've been here still. Now you smoking and drinking. Now you can't even sit still. What the heck? Too many people dying in Cleveland. And most of the time, these little kids just die for no reason. Cause of a street they claim it. Or the people they hang with. Now you sitting up in prison for some stuff they blamed you for. You probably didn't even do it. You was just there standing right next to the shooter. Then he handed you the gun and ran off. Then police came like, hey, put your hands up. Knife stuck, sitting in jail for your lifetime. While they be pulling home, stressing out, watching Lifetime. Like the Lord up on my baby back. This stuff is driving them crazy, they turn a maniac. But the girl is dead and they can bring it back. I put my L's in the sky, where Latavia at. Danique and Nelson, we love you when we miss you on earth. And you was only 15, got put in the dirt. Dear Lord, can you please watch over our youth? Until my soul is up in heaven, just know I salute. And Tavia Williams, honey, what you doing upstairs? I probably ain't really know you, but just know that I care. I'm just a kid from Cleveland, representing for all the dead people from the land that ain't make it that long. And if I die today, I'ma live through my songs. They tell my mama that I love her and try to stay strong. Made a video with my homies, he low in 09. And then I sang you freaking night, my homie done died. I found out the next day by just watching the news. And I'm a Garden Valley of homies was crying in school. And man, this stuff is messed up in the land, I swear. And it seemed like I lose 2 friends a year. I'm still on this earth breathing, I'm calling it lucky. We weren't from the same hood, but rest in peace Boogie. And you can see a homie one day, then the next he could be dead. Ricky Smurf, he got shot in the chest. People going down the road and they paying the cost. And if I die tonight, yeah, positive thoughts. And I've been sitting in my room just watching the ceiling, thinking that my homies can still be here when I make millions. Cause you know dudes turn fake when you get bread. And rest in peace Marvell, he got shot in the head. And to be honest, most of my homies locked or dead. These kids shouldn't be dying, man, I swear that's so sad. And people really out here dying for trying to live. Like go and put the guns down and stop killing these kids. It's so sad that the graveyard is their location. It's more kids in Cleveland dying and graduating. Seems like it's hard to stay alive in this little city. Longwood, Lawrence Drake took it and Kenny. I don't know what I would do if I lost my homie Duka. That stuff will mess up my head and all become a nuisance. And rest in peace to Cookie, she was innocent, man. Can't even count how many people done died from the land. Man.